When you think of humans exploring the solar system, what immediately comes to mind? The moon? Mars? That it's too scary to even think about? Venus, our hot neighbor next door, gets little attention. I guess public relations earn their massive chunk of the budget after all. The PR team did a fantastic job anthropomorphizing rovers and popularizing DIY fecal potato farming on Mars. People had a fresh planet to look forward to, and barely any cars needed to be shot into space to advance those dreams. They kept everyone looking forward for so long that no one thought to look back. Venus is nearly the size of Earth, spitting distance on a cosmic scale, and everyone just believes we haven't thrown any robots down there since 1985. For a little over 30 years now, the US and Russia have been involved in a joint research operation. Given the dire circumstances, the partnership survived the dissolution of the Soviet Union out of necessity. We've monitored a 5,719,100 square mile section of the planet's surface. That is, up until a few days ago. The whole myth that nothing survives long in Venusian weather is another easily debunked fabrication. The atmosphere presses down 75 times stronger than on Earth. Great. That's about 2,500 feet underwater, and we go much deeper than that all the time. The scorching surface reaches temperatures of over 870 degrees. That's tepid, to be sure, but our advanced borosilicate glass housings sweat it out just fine. In fact, you probably have measuring cups in your kitchen made of tougher stuff than the landers of the 70s. In 1981, back when discoveries were exciting and shared freely, the Soviets detected possible seismic activity on Venus. Years later, it was determined there is no plate tectonics on the planet. As scientists do, we sought to explain the movements. Technology moved in lockstep with our curiosity, but with each new troubling insight, the need for secrecy grew. Without drawing the public's attention, we set up video relays, listening posts, and seismometer stations. For all 243 days a day, 225 days a year, we collected data on Venusian seismic activity. An ostensibly calming variable was that the planet has a vibrant volcanic life. Not enough to account for the relatively crater-free surface, but it was a lead for the tremors. This course investigation led us to the first of 3 features. We would learn evidence, Earth's demise. Venus is the only body in the solar system to form arachnoids. These geological features are so named for their spiderweb-like striations. Many speculate they are similar to coronae in that they form from magma buildup. As far as the public knows, it is just another unexplained phenomenon. The hostile environment of Venus is perhaps its most famous trait. In that raging acid storm of carbon dioxide, a band of calm stretches down the length of the planet. Blistering 250-mile-per-hour winds dramatically slow when they are caught in a gravity wave above the Aphrodite Terra. This wave causes an updraft, which launches water vapor into the upper atmosphere of the otherwise dry planet. The Terra also factors into the third concerning feature: Venus's incredibly slow spin. Not only does it spin slowly, it has a retrograde rotation. A common theory to account for backward spinning is a massive collision that changes a body's momentum. We believe that given these variables and our direct observations in the past week, we have a credible threat. Several of our feeds showed simultaneous eruptions of rock along our watch points near the Aphrodite Terra. Cutting through the howling wind, confirmed by numerous listening posts, was this horrible, grinding sound. We lost nearly all connections. On the few relays still transmitting, the scenery shifted in a great upheaval. Contrasted against the yellow Venusian sky were impossibly large shapes, like a whale breaching the surface. Dark mountains rose only to plunge back into the ground. They moved with a grace that defied any chance of being merely geological. There's something under the surface. Taken together, we've added all the mysteries into a possible explanation. A kind of meteor, maybe an eighth the size of Venus, transforms the planet into a molten ball. The impact reverses the planet's rotation. This is where you'll have to take a leap. It drains the oceans into the hollow it created. We know there's evidence of oceans on Venus. It then hunkers down to feast on the water, venting out mostly carbon dioxide as well as some trace water vapor. As it runs low on water, it presses its body against the surface, which is the reason we only see arachnoids on Venus. Like some sort of parasitic core, it prepares itself to jump to the next host. With any world-ending threat, the public is ideally the last to find out. There's still a snowball's chance some egghead will get us out of this. Maybe it'll take thousands of years to get hungry again. I felt guilty spending whatever time I have left with my family, knowing some of you might not appreciate your time. There's nothing left to learn from the project anyway. We simply have to wait. You might have read that phosphine has been detected in the atmosphere of Venus. A prudent scientist admits the molecule is a potential sign of life, and just like that, the clickbait headlines write themselves. Maybe a few articles will add the qualifying statements that the chances of Venusian life are infinitesimally small. Yes, microorganisms can produce phosphine as a natural byproduct. However, the highly acidic winds of Venus, in combination with an enormous amount of iron, would also have a similar result. We should have guessed. That's what it's made of. Thank you for listening. You can probably handle another horror story, right?